new business, just to quickly say that
We are live,
let's
Mr. Chair.
look at our cleanup. Anyways, I'll wait for the call for the order.
We are live.
Thank you very much, everybody, for participating today in our Public Works and Urban Beautification meeting for February 23rd. We'll call to order declarations of conflict of interest.
None.
None. Great. Approval of the agenda. I think,
Mr. Chair,
yes.
could I just add one quick item?
Yes.
It's something we spoke about. It's just about cleanup for the city. Just want to
Sure. We'll put that
just bring
under,
it to our attention at a public meeting. Thank you,
yeah,
sir.
we'll put it under new business. Thank you. Okay, I'll need approval of the agenda. I think, Alana, you moved it, seconded by Councillor Ramsey.
Yeah.
All those in favor of the agenda, please raise your hand. It's good to see we're all on board. Where'd Councillor Duffy go? Is he there?
He's with Spencer right now.
He's what?
He's with Spencer.
Oh, okay. He's in with Spencer. Okay. Okay, cool. Adoption of the minutes for February the 2nd. Need a move in a seconder. Moved by Mayor Brown, seconded by Councillor Ramsey. All those in favor? Aye. Spencer puts his hand up. Great. Okay. Business arising from those previous minutes. I see none. So we'll go right into reports. Capital Projects monthly update. And just before I pass it on to Scott, this is awesome. I got to tell you, like, I know council in previous years has been wanting to know where projects are. I think when they see this, they'll be overwhelmed on the information piece that we're going to be providing on a regular basis. And, you know, there's no guesswork as to where the projects are. So hats off to you, Scott, and it's all yours.
Thank you, Chair. Appreciate that. Yes, so I'm just going to share the screen so everyone can see, follow along. So yes, so again, the goal is every month we'll bring this list to the committee just to show an update. As the summer progresses, if things are progressing and there's a lot of changes going on, we may just send out a bi-weekly update just to keep council in the loop on what's going on and committee in the loop. But I guess for right now, some of the major updates we've seen since our last meeting we're moving ahead on the City Hall renovations. That is just a new office space down in the main floor area. We finally got a start date, which is the week of the 22nd of March, I believe, or the 25th, I think is the start date. And we anticipate everything being done by the end of March. So that's a big change now for us. And then the next big couple big changes are in the major street works. Harley Street has been tendered, and the resolution is before us today for award of that work. And we are making progress on a lot of our design work. You'll see St. Peter's Road roundabout, we're at 75%. We anticipate being ready to tender in the next 2 weeks, pending final land negotiations. And we're also, we have a number of sidewalks already designed, and that tender, again, will also be ready to go in the next couple of weeks. We're just finalizing the final documents that will be going out for public tender. So those are kind of the big changes going forward. Also, Victoria Park, we've had a big push in the past little bit just to finalize, get this project out of the way. And what that is just a master plan, we'll call it, for what the lanes or how the roadway could look in the future. With dedicated bike lanes and such. So we're getting ready to bring that to committee. I hope to have that ready for committee by our next meeting, and then for council following that. So those are kind of the big updates coming along here. In Beach Grove Road, I should say, we look to tender that by March 15th. So lots on the go in terms of capital budgets and getting things awarded. So over the next couple council meetings, you'll see a number of resolutions being brought forward to award work to get things ready for the spring construction season.
Thank you very much, Scott. Yeah, I think we're seeing quite a difference from this time last year. I just got to again commend the staff for listening to what council was saying and the frustrations, and you hit the nail right on the head here. We're providing people with the information needed to be able to tell the residents, so that's a wonderful thing. Any questions for that, folks? Pretty straightforward. It's just a great document. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Mayor.
2 questions. Scott, I'm looking at the 8th draft of our budget for the capital budget that we passed this past month. Under, it's not under municipal buildings, it's under public works, municipal buildings, urban beautification, traffic signals. I'm looking at the Fitzroy Street facade, Fitzroy Street parkade. What's your timeline for that, sir?
So with that update, Your Worship, we're just working with CDC. We met on this yesterday, and they'll be reaching out to Scott, and they'll come up with a game plan going forward, as well as the upgrades to the panel as well. We just want to make sure that we're all going in the same direction at the same time. When the file comes further for an update, those will be added to here, and Scott will be working in tangent with CADC.
So, Scott, just on the CADC connection, we own the parkade. They manage it for us. So, will they be contributing any funds to the facade the facade installation?
No, they will not, Your Worship. That's totally our cost.
Okay, so do we have a timeline on it, Scott or Mr. Kelly?
Again, Your Worship, we're working with CDC. They will reach out to Scott, I presume, no later than early next week. This was an item of discussion yesterday at the board, and we are moving these files forward, and they'll be changed over to Public Works, Your Worship.
Okay, so our Department of Public Works and Urban Beautification will oversee the facade installation at the Fitzroy Street Parkade, correct?
Right. In concert with CDC, they have some expertise, Your Worship, with the engineering firm that we do not have, so obviously we'll be working with them in partnership. We have to make sure that they're part of it, because they also take care of it for us too, Your Worship.
Okay, so Mr. Chair, and under
Yes.
fire new buildings, it says fire station number 3.
Right.
Do we have a timeline, Mr. Adams, when we'll go to tender?
So on that one, Your Worship, we spoke to the architect today. He said he's hoping to have the plans complete by May, so I presume it'll go shortly to tender thereafter, Your Worship.
What's that again? May, did you say?
He said, and you heard him in the hall, where he had have it done by May, Your Worship. That's their intent, and then I presume it'll go to tender quickly thereafter.
Okay, and again, Mr. Chair, great to see that St. Peter's Roundabout, Belvedere Roundabout is at least getting through the first stage. And I would say that, Mr. Adams, the property has been dealt with through, did you say Capdor with Wilson Fuels, correct?
We're still working on finalizing that, but we hope to have that done in tangent before we go to tender. We will have it done before we tender it, so nothing will be tendered before that land issue is met.
Thank you,
Corrected.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Good. Thank you very much. I'm glad you brought that up. It's definitely a project that I'm just waiting for someone to be killed there. So I'm glad to see that's getting forward. Thank you very much. Any other questions for Mr. Adams, guys? I see none. Okay. We'll move on to tenders. We have 2. Hurley Street. Scott, would you want to explain?
Certainly, thank you. So yes, the first resolution is for the award of Harley Street reconstruction. We had 2 bidders on this one, Island Coastal Services and Birch Hill Construction. Island Coastal was the low bid on this job for $1,432,413 plus applicable taxes. This has been budgeted in the 2022-2023 Public Works Capital Program budget in coordination with Water and Sewer as well. So we each have the funds in our budgets to award this work. We reviewed the tenders and are satisfied with the submission of Island Coastal and are recommending for award.
Okay, good. Any questions for that, Mr. Ramsey? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Thank you. Scott, so we're making sure for Hurley Street, everything's going to be done before we go in there. Like sewer and water and everything like that. They don't have to be in there tearing and ripping things up after everything's all looked after. Am I correct?
That is 100% correct. So with streets like this, so again, we'll start looking at this now for next year and a few years with water and sewer, but we started this process a couple of years ago, starting to identify streets that, from a public works standpoint, need some major rehabilitation, and from a water and sewer standpoint, need major rehabilitation. This is one of the streets that was flagged early on. It has seen a lot of development in the past 5-10 years with a number of apartment buildings, which has caused a lot of damage to our infrastructure. And so, like, as I said, the street was identified by both departments, so the contractor will be responsible for replacing water and sewer and storm lines in the area, and then we're installing new concrete curbing. A sidewalk will be going in there, new asphalt, and we are installing a permanent traffic control device. This will definitely be better than what has happened on Hawthorne Street, but it's a permanent chicane that is properly designed and using concrete curbs, and so that's a permanent traffic control device that will be installed on the street. It's kind of the first of its kind for us here in the city, and we think it's going to help traffic in this area, because we get a lot of complaints of truckers cutting through the street to get from St. Peter's Road to Kensington. So it's been a major cut through. So we anticipate it's going to significantly help that as well. So lots of work to be done this year on that. It's going to be a full reconstruction.
Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Ramsey, for your question. Any other questions for Scott on this one? If not, we'll need to have it approved to go on to council. So it's. Do you want to read that off, Mr. Kelly?
Yes, Mr. Chair, but basically, get this one here.
We just need to move and second it.
Yep, that the conditions per the public tender Harley Street reconstruction, that the submission of Island Coastal in the amount of $1,432,413 plus both taxes be accepted, and that this work will be carried out in the 2022-2023 Public Works Capital Project Program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kelly. All those in favor? We need to move on.
Councillor Yankoff and Councillor Ramsey, Bishop. Mr. Chair.
Yeah, moved by Councillor Lana, Councillor Yankoff, and seconded by Councillor Ramsey. All those in favor? Good. Mr. Duffy? Mike?
I think his screen is frozen.
Oh, it must be frozen. Okay, so we'll take it as we'll just say he's missing in action. Okay.
He's frozen in time. He's frozen in time. Michael, wake up.
I thought he was I thought he was just staring at me. It was
I
scary.
was wondering why he was so quiet.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
You have to unmute Councillor Duffy.
Oh, he froze again. Look.
He froze again. Look.
Blowing
He's ready
out
to say
kisses.
something.
Blowing
That's a
out
pretty
kisses.
face.
Lips are perked and everything.
That's a pretty face.
Okay. We'll move on. Oh, dear. Second resolution, Mr. Kelly.
You're still
how about I'll
muted,
get you to
Councillor.
read it, and
Sorry.
then we'll ask questions.
Councillor Duffy, you're still muted. If you wish to speak, we cannot hear you unless you unmute your mic. You're still muted, Councillor Duffy.
Can't hear you.
He's saluting you.
It's like slow motion.
All right, the next one.
Can't hear you.
He's froze again anyway. Okay, let's read the second resolution, Mr. Kelly.
Yes, that the City of Charlottetown purchased 33 portable HEPA filtration units for the City of Charlottetown municipal buildings through the provincial government public tender process, awarded to J. McDonald Hillside Holdings Limited in the amount of $1,200 per unit, totaling $39,600 plus all applicable taxes be accepted.
Thank you very much. Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead, Councilor Ramsey.
Scott, can you explain to a stupid man like me what this is?
Certainly. So these are portable units. It's a portable air filtration system.
Oh.
And yes, so they are the units that the province went out to tender for and have since installed them in all the school classrooms around the province, in various municipal buildings. It's something we've been looking at for a couple months. What is the best option to go? And based on the province review, which they have expertise in house. They're recommending this brand and award to it. And we can take advantage of their unit pricing. I think it's about $800 cheaper than if we were to go to buy them ourselves somewhere. So it is a great deal. And again, it did follow the public tendering process for the province of PEI. So we wanted to take advantage of that, the great pricing that they had.
No, it's fantastic, really. Thank you.
No, it's good. Thank you very much, Councillor Ramsey. Mr. Mayor, you have a question?
Mr. Chair, I want to thank Steve McFadgen because, as Mr. Adams knows quite well, that he's been working on this file, and it's not just COVID-19 that we're experiencing now, going on post-COVID, hopefully sooner than later. This will greatly improve the air quality throughout our facilities. Scott, Mr. Adams, one question. So we're purchasing 4 now, correct?
No, we're purchasing all 33.
Okay.
Yes.
33 at what? 1,200 per unit?
1,200 per unit. That's correct. Yes. And
Okay.
there'll be place for municipal buildings, so our community centers, our city hall facility, of course. There'll be a few per floor because they are based on a certain square footage that they can clean the air, scrub the air, I guess is what they say. So it'd be, we have a list of where the 33 will be placed once we receive them.
Great. And I know, Mr. Chair, it's the company is mother company, or the parent company is Aeris.
Yes.
They own Electrolux, so their expertise in this, unbelievable. So great
decision.
news. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the resolution's been read. We've had some debate on it, so I'll need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Ramsey, seconded by Councillor Mike Duffy.
You're on mute, Mike.
Oh,
Mike,
you're
you're
not
on
on
mute.
mute.
No, his mic is
So
not muted.
All those in favor of the resolution, please put up your hand. Good. That's good. Everybody's in favor. Thank you very much. We'll move that on to council. Getting back
These
to our
go to
agenda-
finance first, don't they, Chair?
That's good.
yeah, finance and council. Sorry. Yes.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But the intent is to go to council on Monday evening, so it'll go to the finance committee through email probably sometime this afternoon.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because we have finance again Monday at noon, Mr. Kelly.
Okay. Under new business, I believe the mayor had brought up a subject of cleanup.
You're still muted,
You're
Your Worship.
mute.
Can't hear you.
Just want to bring this to your attention. I've been receiving calls, and I'm sure councillors have been receiving calls about just to clean up with, and I know it's the thaw. Every time we have lots of snow and then there's the thaw, the mess really shows up. But I think we just have to get a public campaign going through our communications department to promote, please don't litter, please try to keep our city clean and beautiful. And I'm asking our manager of Public Works Beautification to start the process sooner than later so that we can get ahead of it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Good. Well, we could probably send out something like we did with the potholes there, Scott. We could send out a little PSA saying cleanup will be underway shortly, but ask everyone to do their due diligence. Yeah. Okay.
And do their part.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
That'll work. Thank you very much. Anything else, folks? Nothing else. We have a good meeting today. That's great. I just need one more motion. That's to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Ramsey, seconded by Councillor Duffy. All those in favor of adjournment, please raise your hand.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
great
you
day.
very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Take
Enjoy
care,
your day.
everyone.